Hey everybody, Nico Alexopoulos here, otherwise known Coach Nico. I'm glad you stopped by, and I want to give you a piece of advice for all the kids, regardless if they're boys or girls, trying out for a youth soccer program, regardless if it's a team, individual, or an academy, or what have you. Us grown-ups, parents included of course, have the tendency to put so much pressure on the kids. If you go to a tryout, regardless if it's your first one or if you've been to a few of them, the number one thing you need to remember is that kids like to have fun. We put so much pressure on them. Our competitive nature as grown-ups goes into their minds, and they have so much pressure going into the tryout. Remember, soccer to kids is just having fun. It doesn't matter if they make the team or not. There will be plenty of tryouts and plenty of programs and plenty of teams to try out. So the number one thing is, do not stress them out and tell them that all they need to do is go do their best, give their best possible effort, and have fun. It's simple. That's it. Fun is always important to kids. Let them have it. Now, I also want to give you a couple more pointers that I have considered pretty important throughout my coaching career, and of course some of them are very well documented by other coaches. Some of them you might know, some of them you may not even thought about. First of all, the difference between a new tryout member and a member that's already on a team retrying out for that team plays quite a bit of a difference. A lot of parents don't realize that when the kids are on an existing team and they're trying out, which most travel programs, for example, have to try out yearly, okay, the coaches have been evaluating those kids on a year basis. So it's not that the tryout is really for them. The tryouts are for the kids coming into the program or wanting to come into the program. So the kids have already been playing. They've had all year long to impress the coach with their attitude, their work ethic, their listening, their attention, their focus, their skills, everything. So most parents think that, oh, my kid had a great tryout, he should have made the team. Well, sometimes that's not always the case, because the team, has been, the player has been playing all year round. And all year round, they've either fooling around, or they haven't been applying themselves, or the effort is not there. And again, that's another thing that's being overlooked by a lot of parents. Coaches just don't look for skills. Coaches look for a lot more than that. I mean, skills can be taught in a lot of instances. A good athlete that may not have the greatest skills can be taught, but someone who's constantly fooling around and lacks focus may not be ready for that particular traveling program. So the coaches look for a lot more things. I want to go over a couple of things, or a few things, should I say. Again, it doesn't matter if this is the first tryout that you're going to, or if you tried out for teams before. And remember, if your kid does not make that initial tryout, there's plenty of teams out there. There's plenty of programs. There are a lot of quality programs, a lot of quality coaches. Don't pressure the player into thinking that this is the tryout you got to make, especially at a younger age. If they are, let's say, U8, U9, U10 level, if they get older, if they're, U19, U18, the pressure might be a little bit more because of a competitive academy or what have you. But at the lower levels, don't force them, and don't inject into them this stress about having a great tryout. Anyway, here's some of the things that I've thought about over the years in tryouts. You got to always think ahead. You got to be prepared before you go to the tryout. You got to be in good physical condition. I mean, especially during the summer months, kids go on vacation, what have you. You should take the time and do a little bit of jogging, do a little bit of touching the ball, exercise a little bit, just to show up on a tryout and be completely out of shape. Prepare your skills, go in the yard and touch the ball a little bit. Make sure the ball that you bring with you to the tryout is the correct size. Plenty of times I see kids, especially at their younger ages, bring a size 5 ball when they need a size 4 ball. It makes a difference on how you touch the ball, especially if your skill level is not that high. Make sure you have your proper gear. Make sure you have shin guards. Make sure your shoes fit properly. A lot of times kids get brand new shoes for a new season, and they go to a tryout, and guess what? Without wearing them in to break them in a little bit, those shoes start hurting, and then it affects the performance, and you know, the parents wonder, hey, little Johnny, what happened? Well, Dad, my shoes were bothering me, and that has a negative effect on the tryout. Very important, keep your kids hydrated. Tell the players to drink plenty of fluids. Have a nutritious snack maybe before you get a tryout. Don't have any pasta or pizza, what have you. Maybe an apple, maybe some crackers, or maybe a little salad, something very light before the tryout, about 2 hours before the tryout. And of course, as I said before, make sure you bring a lot of water. Here's another tip for you guys. Be on time. If the tryout is at 5 o'clock and you're there at 5, you're late. Make sure you get there before. Get to know where the field is, where you're going to be trying out. Check in. You know, if it needs to be you know, a check-in table or what have you. Do not be late. If you're on time, you're going to be late. Okay? Make sure you're already dressed. Make sure that your uniforms are already on. Make sure your shin guards are on, your socks, your shoes. I see a lot of times, you know, kids showing up and the parents are putting on, you know, last-minute gear on the sideline. It doesn't look good. Take care of it before you get there. Girls, if you have jewelry, take it off. If you have long hair, put your hair up. Plenty of times girls show up, hair's all over the place, they can't see. It affects their performance. Okay? Here's an important thing for the kids. Make sure they go up to the coach and introduce themselves. I know that a lot of kids are shy, okay? All they got to do is just go up and say, hi, coach, my name is little Johnny, and I'm here to try out for the team. Don't let, you know, mom and dad do it. Let the kid go and do it, no matter how shy it is, to develop rapport with that particular coach. And of course, you know, let them have some responsibility by just introducing themselves. Don't, you know, tell the kids, do not interrupt the coach if the coach is talking to someone else. Wait until the coach is done and then introduce yourself. It's very simple, like I said. Now, again, for the kids, make sure that, you know, they are respectful. If you guys are watching the video with your parents, be respectful. If the coach introduces himself as Coach Nico, well, address him as Coach Nico, or at the very least, address them as coach. Hey coach, how are you? I'm here to try out for the team. Okay? The coach likes to be called by either their full name, Coach Nico, or at least coach. They've earned that respect because they've gone through training sessions, they've got licensed, so that shows a lot of respect, and coaches do like it. When you guys get there, don't mess around. Don't take your ball and start going all over the place. Leave it alone. Listen for directions. When the coach is explaining things, stand by your ball or hold it in your arm. Don't just kick it around and don't pay attention. If the ball gets away from you, let it go. You'll get it after the coach is done speaking with you. Always make eye contact with the coach. Another important thing. Most kids, when you know the coach is talking, they're looking all over the place. The coach will be talking, and if you have eye contact with the coach will come back as he's talking and surveying the kids and talk to you. Sooner or later, he's going to be addressing you directly. So that stands out in the coach's mind. Little Johnny had direct eye contact and he was listening to what I was saying. It stands out. Again, it's not just about skills. It's about proper attitude. It's about everything. Coaches look for that. Let's see, what else? When you get there, okay, you got to remember, you got to be focused while you're there. You're there to try out for a soccer team. Usually rec programs don't require tryouts. They're more laid back, okay? But if you're trying out for a program, which is a travel program or an academy team, remember, kids, you are there to try out for that particular program. Don't fool around, okay? You're not there to play with your friends. You're not there to socialize. You're not there to talk. You're not there to chase butterflies. You're not there to do cartwheels. You're there to try out for that particular program. So it's very important that you focus and you pay attention. When you line up to do certain exercises, if you know exactly what you're supposed to do, okay, don't be afraid to be the first one to do it. Coaches love kids that go first and show initiative and leadership, okay? Now, on the other hand, if you don't know what you're doing, or you know, you just don't want to be first. You don't have to be first in every exercise, okay? But when your turn comes to do that particular exercise, make sure you do it well. Make sure you do it better than the other kids. Throughout the soccer tryout, the coaches will give you different opportunities to have a water break. When you go and have your water, drink it and come back to the area where the coach is quickly. Always try to be one of the first ones, not the last ones. Don't just walk. If you can jog back. It makes a very good impression on the coach. Keep your shirt tucked in at all times. Don't be messy. Okay? You're going to have to do it during the games anyway, so you might as well start getting used to it. Tuck in your shirt, just more little detail. Wear your shorts the way it's supposed to be worn around your waist, not all the way down to your knees. Be neat. Coaches like that. Okay? Don't whine. Don't complain. A coach does not want to hear, how hot it is, or that Johnny is sticking you in the back. He doesn't want to hear that you can't find your ball. He doesn't want to hear that that you're thirsty. He knows that you're thirsty, and there's going to be certain water breaks. Okay, stop reminding him. He doesn't want to hear, of course, I can't do it. In the tryouts, no coach wants to hear any kid say, I don't want to do it. You have to do it. You got to do it to the best of your ability. Don't tattletale on other players. Don't fool around. Don't jig them in the back. Do not excuse if you made a mistake. Take responsibility. Don't blame it on the other kids. Hey, Johnny, yelled at me. That's why I miskicked the ball. No. When your soccer tryout is over, you have to pay attention. What is next? Okay, so it's over. What we're going to do next? Many tryouts are conducted over several days, so you will not know the results right now. You will not know by the coach, hey, you made the team. A lot of tryouts, they will say, we're going to email your parents, or we're going to call you and let you know if you made the team. Okay? Make sure you gather up your belongings. Make sure you get everything that you came with. It's okay to say goodbye to the coach and say thank you very much for the opportunity. Don't ask him if you made the team. Listen to the directions and let him tell you exactly how you're going to be notified so you can tell your parents. I know the waiting, to hear for the results is an anxiety attack for a lot of parents. Parents more than the kids. If the kids, are feeling a little bit of anxiety, hey, let them go out and kick the ball a little bit. Say, don't worry about it. Just practice your skills. If you don't make this team, no big deal. Another opportunity will come up. There's plenty of opportunities. Always have a second and third plan. Make sure that you try out for multiple teams. Don't stress out to the kids by saying, you have to make this team. That's the last thing they want to hear. That's why most kids get burned out. By the time they're 14, 15 years old, they don't want to play anymore. Why? Number one reason, because mom and dad are making it too stressful. It's not fun anymore. They're being yelled everywhere. Parents go to the game and they're yelling directions. Let the coach coach. So again, I hope these things have been helpful to you guys. I know there's some of them you may know. Some of them things that I point out might be a little and menial and unimportant, but believe me, they make a good impression on the coach. This is Coach Nico, and I hope you had a great little tip on how to make your first tryout, or if it's a repeat tryout. Have a good one, everybody.